Hey everybody, welcome to coverage of Grand Prix Anaheim. This is round number 14. My name is Marshall Sutcliffe. I am joined in the booth by Luis Scott Vargas.
Hello everyone.
Giving us some really incredible commentary here. I just kind of try to get out of his way because he knows so much more than I do.
No, you definitely can hold your own. I've listened to your podcast.
You've been on my podcast.
I have also been on your podcast.
All right. Tim Landale is on the left. We get a look at Tim here.
Grand Prix champion, Tim.
Grand Prix. Sorry, I have to make sure that GPC, Tim Landale, and he is going to be playing the Spirits deck that we saw in the finals of Pro Tour Avison Restored, and this is a deck that was developed by Sam Black, Godenis Vidigiris,
Finkel,
John Finkel.
You know, like their whole test team. I don't know exactly who came up with that.
So some arbitrary number of geniuses made this deck, and this deck tends to play out. It's being compared kind of to almost like a combo deck.
Yeah, I mean it's not exactly a beatdown deck. What it's trying to do is build a giant hex-proof guy and just kill them with that. Like it's just trying to like load up creature enchantments like Spectral Flight on a Geist, and so. Which
is funny because I would never have thought that would be a viable strategy in any constructed format.
It's good and limited. I mean that has been proven.
I'm sure you've proved that on your videos. I mean, now one of the things about the Spirits deck, as it's going to be facing down a very heavy creature-based deck in the Jund deck, which is kind of surfaced as one of the more popular decks here in this weekend, is that the Spirits deck doesn't run that much removal.
No, it's got Dungeon Geist and Silent Departures.
Right,
and that is it.
That's about it. And those really put a lot of pressure on this deck to get a couple of combo pieces, right? Something evasive and with hexproof, and then.
I mean, it's got 4 Geist, 4 Stalker, but when it doesn't draw one of those, it's got a slightly tougher time. Because Spectral Flighting, like a Strangle-Root Geist is not exactly
and I have seen that. Now we're talking limited, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, and it's unfortunate that Silent Departure is really not that effective against Aristocrat at all.
No, it's not. It just comes back down. I mean, it sends him back a little bit on tempo, but the haste is a huge deal.
Yeah, so I'm not sure who won the roll here. Looks like Landale's going to 6 cards, which this deck actually can mulligan fairly aggressively because its combo hands work out really well.
Okay.
Looks like a reasonable hand. He's got Hinterland Harbor into Invisible Stalker or Strangle-Root Geist with a Wolfier in hand. So that's kind of what you're looking for. And VD doesn't have a Pilgrim here, which is like a pretty big game. He does have Scorn Villager though. So.
I also see a Borderland Ranger from him, and it looks like Tim's just going to take the.
Yeah, he's got no blockers, so might as well just Strangle-Root Geist it up.
Ship it in there.
Especially since Wolfier costs 5, you want to just play the Stalker to the turn before you Wolfier. You don't really need to have it out earlier.
Right, because you're only going to get in a couple of damage with it in between. And this is a nice situation as well, because for the foreseeable future here, nothing's going to be able to block this Geist, right? Like any of the mana rampers or,
Yeah, BD's going to play a Scorn Villager here, and he's not going to block.
He's going to take another 2 damage. Even a Borderline Ranger is going to step in front of it once, but even then you're not unhappy.
BD's hand looks pretty vulnerable to Invisible Stalker, as is not a surprise, I'm sure. But he does have Tragic Slip, which is one of the reasons that the Tragic Slip is so good in this deck, is it does kill Wolffair Silverheart, which not very many cards do.
Yeah, it's one of the few, and it's pretty sweet when you do. You only spend 1 mana.
Yeah. And it looks like Landale has drawn some lands, which is good, because he wants to hit his Wolfier on turn 5 to get the 5 in with Invisible Stalker right away.
Now, this deck is running ramp as well in the form of Avicen's Pilgrim.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like he is going to Silent Departure to the Scorn Villager, which I think is good, because, I mean, at this point he knows what VD's list is, I'm sure, and he knows that they've got a ton of 4-drops. As it turns out, he doesn't have a 4-drop in hand, but he easily could have.
Yeah, but he set him back a lot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, not only does he not have the extra mana on this turn, now he has to spend his whole turn recasting the Scorn Villager. He might even just drop a Borderland Ranger here.
I think what he's going to do is play Scorn Villager and then possibly Tragic Slip the Strangle-Root Geist, just to save the 2 damage here. And then next turn play Wolfier. The thing is, against Landale's deck, Tragic Slip doesn't do that much, and you really want to minimize the amount of damage. If Landale drew Increasing Savages this turn, the game would just be over, but unfortunate for him, did not. Though it's unfortunate for VD as well that he couldn't play a red source this turn, so he can't Miracle Bonfire if he draws it.
Right.
So he didn't Tragic Slip, but now the Scorn Villager flips, which is pretty good for him. Though now he can actually just cast Bonfire.
All right, so we see a Aristocrat come off the top of the deck for VD. Is he going to use that
Looks like he's going to Aristocrat
play, or is he going to attack?
He's just going to bash for 6 here. Sure. Yep. I mean, he's got to, right? Like, so puts Landale to 14.
Because Landale has some form of inevitability with that Stalker. Like, he's going to get something on it at some point, right?
Yeah, and and now he gets to post-combat play another villager, which then flips his villager back, but he's got a second one in play. So
he got his value out of it. Right. So end step, we're sacking our Evolving Wilds, and then just taking a shot.
Villagers coming back in. So Landale's now going to presumably slam Wolfear on Invisible Stalker, hit VD down to 8, but VD has Tragic Slip in hand, which means next turn he can just sack a guy to Falconwrath Aristocrat and then Tragic Slip.
Right. Which is one of the great uses that we've seen for Falconwrath Aristocrat so far, also in conjunction with Zealous Conscripts.
Yeah, it is. And Zealous Conscripts was already pretty sweet, as we have already discussed.
Which just make it even better.
Yeah. So unless Landale draws something like Increasing Savagery, which might be a better play, he's probably just going to have to drop the Wolfear.
You'd like Increasing Savagery better because it doesn't care about Tragic Slip.
But even if you drew Increasing Savagery, he'd still just drop Wolfear and then next turn play Increasing Savagery. So yeah, so he's going to play Wolfear. He's going to Wolfear to Stalker.
Yeah. VD's tapped out, so he is in no.
Yeah. So he can take 7, go to 6, or he can trade. I think trading the Villager for the Strangler Geist is fine here. He's got enough mana. He's got enough creatures in play. Like, it does mean that he has one less guy to block Wolfear, but he's going to kill the Wolfear next turn anyway.
Right.
So I think VD, as things stand right now, VD is in good shape. But the thing about Landale's deck is that every turn he's drawing live to just draw Increasing Savagery or something ridiculous like that and just slam it. So
right.
Actually, because of Increasing Savagery specifically, VD I think has to block here. Because if he takes 7 going to 6, then he's dead to Increasing Savagery.
One single turn. Yeah.
Yeah. So. VD's
looks
in the
like
tank.
VD is definitely contemplating all the things.
I mean, you've got to think of all these things. Like, if VD's at 1 more life, the decision is much harder. But I think at 13, it does mean, like, you just want to minimize the chances that you just randomly die, especially since you're fairly close to killing Tim at this point.
Yeah, Tim's at 14.
Aristocrat's a beatdown.
It sure is.
Yeah. He has another option, too, which is block and then sack it to Aristocrat to give it +1.
Okay.
Which is, he also might be thinking about that, because that's not irrelevant.
And that might actually be better in some ways too, because then the Strangler Geist isn't coming back as a 3-power guy the next turn.
So next turn, VD is gonna, assuming his untapped Villager dies this turn, he can play Silverheart, leaving a black mana up, smash for $1,000,000 with Falconwrath, and then sack and Tragic Slip on using his guy. So it looks like he took it. He wanted to have the extra mana.
Well, he does need to have something to sack to the Aristocrat as well, so he can do his Tragic Slip play.
Yeah, but I mean, he would have one guy left back anyway.
He would, yes.
Alright, so he drew a Garruk, which
doesn't do much here.
That's not.
It makes another blocker, but it's going to take his whole turn to do it. That doesn't seem worth it.
I mean, I think he's going to want to slam Silverheart here anyway, leaving a black man up, obviously. But if Tim draws Increasing Savagery, the game is actually just over, though.
So if he does Silverheart, is he going to put it on the Aristocrat and
yeah, he's just going to hit him for 6 or 8, and then Tim has
a 2-turn clock there.
Yeah, Tim has Silent Departure in his graveyard, but that doesn't actually do anything.
No, because he can replay it, repair it, and still have haste. Normally, Silent Departure seems like it would be pretty good against
a 4-drop, but
yeah. All right, so we do see the Silverheart come down.
So now Tim is basically drawing 2 Increasing Savagery.
Whoa.
Well, yeah.
Now we are assuming that he paired it with the Aristocrat here, right?
Yeah, I saw him tap his hand on it.
Okay.
And I assume Tim's going to go to 6 here. Yeah. So I think that is the only thing. Increasing Savagery is really his only out here.
Can he? Well, he didn't immediately play it, but he's surveying the scene here. He does kind of.
He's got to know that something's going on with that Woodland Cemetery. Like, so.
Yeah.
And the thing is, even without Tragic Slip, VD's not technically dead. So. Okay. Yeah.
He's going to Silent Departure.
Like the Wolfear or something. Yeah. So it looks like VD does have this game, barring him deciding not to block.
Right.
Wolfear Silverheart or something, which he's going to kill anyway. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Silent Departure on the Silverheart.
Yep. Takes it back. And then he slams. Sack that.
So sack that.
Counter. Tragic Slip the Wolfear. And
he saw it coming. Writing is on the wall, and we know that he's got. Tim knows that he has the Wolfear Silverheart in his hand, and he's probably just going to pack it in.
All right. So
really
quick match goes to VD here. And it does look like whoever wins this match will have to win the next match, though.
Okay.
Which is kind of rough shape to be in. Just GP's the size has gone up, so now 12-2-1 is by no means a lock. It's 13-2 more often than not.
Okay. Yeah, we had 968 players here this weekend.
You just have to win a lot of matches. You can only lose twice.
Yeah.
Those are the rules.
So what are we thinking out of the board here?
So VD is gonna definitely want Distribute to Hungers and Liliana's, because like those are both ways to kill hexproof guys.
He's got 2 of each of those to bring in. That seems very strong.
I can't imagine that Blasphemous Act is that good, because Tim's goal is to build a battle cruiser.
Yeah,
just one guy.
He's all in on one guy, right? He might have.
I don't see
Blasphemous
Act being fast enough unless VD drops a bunch of guys. But
then,
yeah.
Although at least with Blasphemous Act, he could, make his Aristocrat indestructible
which is
and then
pretty
blow
nice.
up, which is nice because Aristocrat's a great plan late.
Yeah. VD's going to have to take out some of his targeted removal, because currently he's got 4 Tragic Slip, 2 Zealous Conscripts, 3 Garriks, a Sever, and a Devil's Play.
Right.
And some number of those have to leave, because you can't. I mean, Tragic Slip is probably good because it kills Wolf in an instant.
And it also kills the
Pilgrim on turn 1,
original the turn 1 because one of the plays that we've seen from the Spirits deck that comes out really slamming is turn 1
turn 2
Pilgrim
Geist,
and turn 2 Geist, and it's like, whoa.
I mean, that feels like you're playing just like an unbeatable deck.
You're playing like
with turn 3 increasing savagery. Just the full
and I mean, and even either way, they can turn 3 increasing savagery, even if they just throw Spectral Flight on it. Sometimes that's even more damage because they can't jump it.
Yeah. So I think Zealous Conscripts is probably not what you're looking for. I mean, it can steal a Wolfear, but that's about it.
Break a pair.
Yeah.
That's not that exciting.
Yeah. Devil's Play also might not be. I mean, it does help you win the race. Sever does kill Wolfear, which is nice. But he's going to take out some number of these things. I'm not sure exactly what, but like Olivia's like not the best either. She's okay. I mean, he's going to keep all the bonfires. He's probably going to keep most of the Garriks. Garrick's not insane either. Like VD does gain a lot after board, whereas Tim gets to put in maybe some Garriks, maybe some Dissipates, maybe some Wolfear Avengers. Yeah, and these cards are fine, but it feels like VD gets a lot better after board. Because
it does.
VD gets ways to answer Tim's best draw, whereas Tim just gets some upgrades. Like, I mean, Silent Departure probably goes out because it's not that good against like the Aristocrat.
The haste and all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah, looks like VD is considering taking out Sever there, and possibly, oh no, it looks like, no, he's leaving the Sever in, but he is putting all the untargeted removal in.
It's kind of a weird balance for
he
VD.
took out the Zealous Conscripts and maybe some of the Wolfear Silverhearts, actually. Interesting. Yeah, I guess those are just like the slightly slower cards.
I see there's 2 Human Frailties in VD's board. It looks like he's going to keep those there.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, they only kill Avacyn's Pilgrim, right? Like that's like not. Oh, I guess Invisible Stalkers are human too, so.
It doesn't matter.
Hey, look, I had to go for it.
I found that out the hard way when that format first came out. I remember not realizing that it was a human for a long time.
Oh yeah.
I was like, wait, this is a human?
Put a cleaver on it and go to town.
Yeah, wait a second.
That is the combo.
Yeah. Don't. You're hurting my feelings right now.
I haven't played the Spirits deck, so I'm not sure how much Tim wants Garrick or Dissipate or Wolfear Avenger. He's certainly not bringing trees or Graph Digger's Cages.
Right.
But Silent Departure does seem like a relatively easy cut, though. So I think if he cuts those, he might. I mean, Dissipate might not be the absolute worst. I don't know. That's it. The Jund deck is kind of clustered onto like some slightly heavier jobs. Wolfear Avenger is not horrible either, especially if he knows VD's bringing tributes and stuff. Like,
just as a fodder.
Yeah.
Like he plays it and then you slam
the
it in.
The Strangler Geist is very good against tribute Liliana.
Yeah, that's true. It kind of acts as a little seal, right? That just sits there and is like, nope, you don't get to do those.
Yeah, so like that is on Tim's side. The fact that VD's siding in cards that are like really bad against Tim's like main deck Strangler Geists.
Yeah, I forgot about Strangler Geist. That's a big one against his sideboard cards. Now, I see that VD has 3 main deck Bonfire of the Damned. Those seem like going to be...
It's funny because they're in this matchup, they're like excellent until they turn completely irrelevent.
Yeah, because now the things are too big.
As soon as Savagery or Spectral Flight or Wolfear come out, like it's like...
Yeah.
I mean, Spectral Flight maybe not, but usually, as soon as any of the green pump spells come out, you don't really want to draw Bonfire. But before that, Bonfire is the best card you can imagine.
Right.
Bonfire away your Pilgrim and your Geist, thanks.
Yeah.
But...
maybe that's why, maybe VD was considering Strangler Geist if he's either brought in or left in his sever the bloodlines.
Yeah, sever is fairly effective against those.
I mean, you're not super stoked to do it, right?
No,
If you get
4 for a 2-drop.
Right, for a 2-drop, but it's one of the
But sever also
cards.
kills Wolfir Silverheart, which is something you always have to respect. So.
You do, and it's kind of a funny balance that VD has to strike here, because like you just don't want that much targeted removal against the deck, but you need some.
Yeah, I mean, the tragic slips have to stay in. Like those seem too excellent, but
yeah, those kill the things surrounding the combo.
Yeah. So we've got. I'm not sure exactly who's favored in this matchup. Like, I think for the Spirits deck, it's the same in a lot of matchups where if the Spirits deck's best draws are like nigh unbeatable. Mm-hmm. So it's more dependent on what the Spirits deck does as opposed to the other decks.
I see. So when we look at the opening hands for Tim here, that's going to be a big focus for us. Tim's
side decide how the games go a lot more. VD can, VD's deck is a lot going to do the same thing a lot more consistently. Whereas when Tim's deck, has the nuts draw, like it's going to be pretty tough. So it looks like we see some Geists. A lot of Geists.
Jeez, was there 3?
No, the full-on 4.
Oh my God.
Saint Traft has come to the party.
Wow.
That's probably too many, would be my guess.
Yeah, so there's definitely Cavernous Souls in hand here as well.
But yeah, that is 4 Geists.
He's essentially mulled to 3 here.
I mean, the first 2 are okay. The third's probably not so great. I cannot imagine that the 4th is good. It looks like maybe like Abundant Growth, 2-land, 4 Geists. I don't think that's a keep. Nah.
I mean, can't you just run the Geist in over and over and over again?
You can try, but I don't know.
He's going to ship it back.
Yeah.
Too much of a good thing, apparently. And it looks like VD's decided to keep.
Yeah. Tim's got some interesting sleeves there.
There is a lot going on those sleeves.
Are those the Gen Con sleeves or something? Or
it says 45 years.
45 years. I don't think
Gen Con.
I don't know what's been going on for 45 years.
No, there's not.
But yeah, maybe it has. I would not be surprised. Like it started in like the 70s or something, 80s, 70s. I don't know.
I don't know. I've never been to Gen Con.
I've been once because Nationals was there last year.
I remember. I saw you tweeting from there.
Yeah, no, Gen Con was fun. I'm glad that I had a reason to go because. There are so many like actual Magic tournaments that it's hard to go to things that aren't.
Yes.
But the fact 2 birds with 1 stone there was kind of nice.
So you're gonna go this year?
Actually, no, I do not believe so.
Why?
Well, this year it's the World Magic Cup, so unless I win the qualifier, I'm not qualified. In which case I won't be going. But
and then you just won't go anyway.
No, I mean at this point I don't really have the time to go to.
Maybe you should come do. You're working now, aren't you?
I am. I'm in an office Monday through Friday.
Oh, you must feel like a caged animal in there.
No,
wild man like you.
No, it's pretty awesome. I mean, it's not like I'm in a cubicle or anything like that. Would be ridiculous.
That's me, and it is ridiculous. Confirmed.
Yeah, well. It looks like Tim had a landlight hand is going to 5. Yeah, I'm on the schedule now, flying in late Friday night and leaving early Monday or late Sunday.
That's me.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel you, buddy.
Hey, I mean,
got to get to work.
It's awesome to be able to do everything you want to do. It just, it's a little tiring. That's all.
I agree. I agree 100%.
So.
And you're in Denver now.
I am in Denver as of last week.
Is it good there?
Yeah, it's nice. The weather's nice. The people are good.
I've heard really good things about Denver.
It has not snowed yet, so once it snows, ask me again.
Yeah, I will.
I've never lived in a place. I mean, I've lived in California my entire life. So.
I know you're a Bay Area guy.
Yeah, that's basically where I've lived. So we'll see. I think the adjustment's going to be fine though. And if not, I can blame Conley.
So when can we play games that you're making?
Soon enough, hopefully.
Cool. I wish you guys luck with that. I know the game industry is
yeah, it's fun. I mean, I get to play games. That's kind of what I like to do.
You do. You are interested in this endeavor, yeah.
Yes. So
we're going to 5 here?
Yeah, as bad as going to 5 is, and it's horrible. You never want to do it.
Right.
Tim can easily just snap off a hand of 2-land Pilgrim Geist and just win the game. That's it. It's really not, and it looks like he's got a Pilgrim and a
Strangaroo Geist, and it looks like a Wolfir Silverheart as well.
I mean, this hand is very capable of winning.
We see Olivia Valdarin.
It looks like VD's going to Tragic Slip turn 1 though, which is fairly unfortunate for Tim. But turn 2 Strangaroo Geist. Ooh, we've got a Spectral Flight.
There is.
We're getting in there. So his hand is now Spectral Flight, Wolfir Silverheart.
Yep.
All right.
So we have a plan.
I mean, he's got to draw blue even to cast the Spectral Flight. Okay, so VD's got a decent hand of Pilgrim into Borderland Ranger into Olivia. So.
Okay. Another forest. Forest comes off the top.
So yeah, Tim is in a little bit of trouble here. I mean, he can't even cast Geist if he draws it. He can't cast Invisible Stalker if he draws it. Like.
He's gonna need to hit a blue source.
Yeah, VD's dropping an Olivia here.
Oh, he's just gonna go for it.
Yeah, just gonna. now that...
Is that a Pilgrim?
Yeah, the Pilgrim doesn't really...
I mean, it makes Olivia...
Yeah, he can cast it, but he's got a... I would say that he's fairly far behind here. Like,
yeah.
Vidi's going to Borderland Ranger for a mountain, play a mountain, shoot the Pilgrim for sure, just because, like, you know...
Because why let him
keep it? Cutting Landale off of mana is all you want to do.
Especially a colored mana like the white mana that he can get from the Pilgrim.
Yeah. Put the counter on Olivia, and yeah, I suspect smash in for 4 here. He's on the offensive. He's not too worried about the Strangarugeist.
Yeah, he's sitting at 16.
I'm not entirely sure what sequence of draws Tim can hit to win this game.
Yeah, you need to get fairly creative. I think that was a Hinterland Harbor for him.
It's a start. Now he can cast most of the spells in his deck.
Yep.
There we go. We're doing it. Vidi's on 12. He can't quite shoot down the Strangarugeist, but with, let's see, he can't quite shoot it and steal it either. But I mean, he still gets to like play an Aristocrat. He's still just racing very effectively here.
He's got another Olivia in his hand, and then the Aristocrat plus a Forest.
Yeah, unfortunately, the second Olivia.
Borderland Ranger.
Not incredibly necessary. But the thing is, you can also just shoot with Olivia, make it a 5/5, and block the. So. Feels like he wants to slam.
So is Vidi deciding right now if he wants to be on the aggressive and start attacking, or if he just wants to sit back and kind of control this game?
Yeah,
is that what his decision is here?
Yeah, I think he needs to make sure he doesn't die to like increasing savagery or something.
Oh, okay. So he just doesn't want to get randomed out by something huge.
But the thing is, even an increasing savagery puts him down to 3. I think if he just goes Aristocrat, attack with everything, then he just puts Landale just basically
Then Tim
dead.
can't attack.
Yeah. Yeah. He can leave Olivia back to try to block Geist, but then if you do get a increasing savagery, like that's not that good. Whereas if you just hit with everything, you're not going to get it actually burned out, and you're going to put Landale to what 6, 10, 11 to 5 life. Yeah, he just smashes.
There. Yep.
And unless Landale cited in a blasphemous act that you can cast off Cavern of Souls.
Right. And he's just going to extend the hand. So Tim unfortunately had to mulligan down.
Yeah, that was not the most interactive match. Game 1 was interesting, but game 2, Vidi had like a very good hand, and Landale, well.
Yeah.
Kind of didn't.
Yeah. Turn 3 Olivia is pretty sweet, even though honestly it was just a flying beater in that case.